Buenas tardes.
Hello.
Today we're gonna do 9 things you should know before moving to Mexico. There's lots more than that. We're doing 9.
That's true. Very true.
Hola, I'm Neosha.
And I'm Nick.
We moved from Kansas.
To Mexico.
We are sharing our journey with you.
We hope you enjoy.
May God bless you.
Que Dios te bendiga.
Number 1, you can't just wing it with visas.
Yeah, you need to make sure that you have all of your paperwork in order and you get a maximum of 6 months. Right now, depending on when you cross, where you cross, and what the mood of the person is behind the counter, you'll get whatever they give you.
Yeah, so true. Very true. If you want to stay longer though, you can research in temporary or permanent residency.
Right, and we are working on temporary residency, but political climate being what it is today, the Mexican consulates are being more helpful to Mexican citizens and less helpful to people that want to come to Mexico with residency, and so it's kind of hard to get an appointment now at the Mexican consulates, which is completely understandable.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Okay, number 2, the cost of living varies a lot.
A lot. Where we're at, cost of living, so gas is close to the same price nationwide because the gas stations kind of have agreements with the Mexican government to keep it at or around 24 pesos per liter, which comes out to somewhere north of $5 a gallon, which in California might not be that terrible, but in central Kansas where we're from, that's high. I mean, that's really high. Things like meat and some cheeses and things like that on the higher end, pretty close to the same as in the United States. Fruits, vegetables, things like that seem to be on the lower end though. And a lot of your prepackaged foods and things are a lot cheaper here.
Yeah.
It really depends on what you're eating, how you want to eat.
Yeah, and so it just kind of depends on where you're going. If you're going to a bigger city, it's just like in the States, it's gonna be more expensive.
And where we're at, it's been getting more expensive. We've been here long enough to see it kind of bumping up a little bit, but this area is getting a little more connected to the rest of the country. It was kind of cut off, and now there's major highways that come right by here, and so it's gotten more touristy and it's gotten more people around, and so the prices have kind of been coming up.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, number 3, learning Spanish changes everything.
We had basically 0 Spanish when we first came down here, and if we hadn't run into some really helpful, friendly people along the way that knew some English, we would have struggled way more, which is nice because people here are nice enough to help when they can. But even when we were down here where we're at, you know, where there's quite a few Americans around this area, people weren't all that friendly with us when we had 0 Spanish abilities. They're like, I don't know. The looks we got were very clear. They weren't real thrilled with the lack of learning the language of this country. But now, as our languages progressed and the people of the town have kind of gotten to know us really well, we get along with people really well now. So, you know, we don't do a lot of Spanish on our videos, mostly because there's nobody here to correct us while we're doing it, and we don't want to just screw it up and sound stupid online. You know, at some point we're gonna have to just do that, and y'all are gonna have to just be nice.
But seriously, the locals really do appreciate the effort.
And sometimes it's funny when you're trying to use your Spanish and somebody throws English at you, and they're just excited to have that back and forth.
That confuses me.
It's fun. We were in town. I've been in town a couple of times, and one time I was really struggling to ask for something at the ferreteria, the hardware store, and the lady said, "Do you speak English?" in about the perfect English accent, and I went, "Yeah, I do." So it was excellent that day because I really needed something and I couldn't figure out how to ask for what I was looking for.
Yeah.
It was nice that she showed up that day.
Yeah, and there's been times whenever we say something in Spanish to someone and they reply back in English, and it's like, "But hey, you speak English?" You know, so it's just very interesting.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's a fun surprise.
Yeah. Number 4 is the culture shock really is real.
Yep, it takes some getting used to, and especially we figured out last time we were here is if you come down without being able to speak much Spanish, you have 0 small talk with anybody. So if you're lucky, you can ask for things and look for things that you need. You know, you can get your necessities figured out, but there is no small talk, there's no friendly conversation, there's no nothing, and it starts to really kind of tear at your mind a little bit when you're just can't communicate.
Yeah.
So, you know, that goes back to the language, but you know, there's a lot of other culture things. It's a lot slower pace around here, and you know, you come from the States and I'm sure other places in the world, and you feel like you should always be doing something, and you get here and there's downtime. I mean, there's quite a bit of downtime. Sometimes right in the heat of the day when, you know, in the States I would be feeling like I should be out working doing something. Everybody takes a little bit of a break because it's just too hot. Where we're at anyway.
Yeah.
We're along the coast, so it is hot here.
Yeah.
Pretty well year round.
It's not hot everywhere in Mexico, but where we are.
It is.
And the other thing is you just have to be flexible. So, I mean, you cannot like just say, okay, this is how my day is going to go. It's not going to go that way ever.
Your schedule cannot be that rigid
Yeah.
because at some point somebody's going to want to talk. And if you just cut them off and say, nope, I can't, I gotta go, that's rude here. You cannot. The relationship, we've said it in other videos, the relationship is more important than anything else. So
Yeah,
you need
exactly.
to be ready for that because it's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Number 5 is safety depends on where you go.
Right. There are places in Mexico that aren't safe. There are places I always use LA and Chicago and Detroit as kind of thing. There's places in the US you don't really want to be hanging out after dark, right? There's a lot of places here that are like that. Know where you're headed, research the area you're going to, and research the routes between here and there. Because there are some places that you don't want to be. We usually stick with toll roads. They tend to be a lot safer.
Yeah.
Just because they're more regulated by the government. So your smaller side roads, you see videos all the time of people that, get stopped on the side of the road by cartel or just general gang members or just individuals that are looking to rob somebody. It happens. So you just got to be paying attention where you're at, where you're going, what time you're traveling. All of those things are important. And really, we've made this trip several times now and we haven't had any problems. Not to say that we won't, but we stick with toll roads. We only drive during the day. We know where we're going and where we're.
Yeah.
So, and we've kind of familiarized ourselves with that route very well now.
Yeah, definitely.
At some point, I'm sure we'll have some form of problem, but I don't know. We felt like God's protected us pretty well
Yeah.
this far in our journey. So.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so number 6 is cash is still king here.
Yeah. Actually, not a lot of places for you to use card here. Some of your bigger stores, Bodega Herrera, which is actually owned by Walmart, Chedraui, some of your big chain stores, you can use your card. There are a lot of credit card scams out there. I mean, they're having trouble with those in the United States even. They seem to be having as many or more problems with the credit cards here for that reason. Some of those scams are starting here too. But the ATMs are readily available. We have one here that's cheaper than all the others, and that's the one that we use. It's so popular that it runs out of cash sometimes. You have to not run yourself completely out of money before you get more because, sometimes you'll go to the ATM and there's no money in it.
Yeah.
But there are other options that are just more expensive.
Yeah.
So,
Number 7, healthcare is affordable and it's good.
yep. And I know that depends a little bit on where you're at as well, but really the healthcare here is pretty high quality. I know there are some areas that people have complained about that we've seen online, but this area we've heard of people traveling clear down to southern Oaxaca to get treatments from the United States because the hospitals are good and the healthcare is cheap. The United States healthcare system is, just outright broken at the moment. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It is broken. There's something wrong with the way we allow our insurance companies to control everything. It's broken. There's issues with Mexican healthcare as well, but for the most part, way cheaper, still high quality.
Yeah, I personally would rather be checked out down here, and another thing is like I did have some sickness last time we were here and I had to have blood work done and urinalysis done. And so we went to go do that and I got the information, my results on WhatsApp, and so that was kind of nice.
And we didn't have to make an appointment. We just showed up, gave them $40. They did the whole thing.
Yep.
It was 800 pesos, roughly $40 American.
Yep, exactly. So
And then she had her results within about a day and a half.
yeah, and it wouldn't have worked out that way in the United States.
Yeah.
So, okay, number 8, you will need to rethink driving.
In a lot of ways. A lot of people are told just don't drive if you don't have to. We prayed about it. We felt like, God, had us protected. We have driven every time. You got to get used to topes. You got to pay attention for animals. You got to pay attention for roadblocks, construction, potholes. The roads here are rough in some spots.
They're not the greatest.
Where we are at, I swear it changes every day where the potholes are at and how big they are. And there's a lot to think about.
It will feel pretty chaotic at first.
It did. It scared the life out of me the first time we were down here. I wasn't driving. The guy that lives in this house, normally lives in this house, was driving, and it terrified me because we were 3 cars wide on a 2-lane road, passing in the mountains, in the dark. It was chaotic. But we used the shoulders, we passed. Now we enjoy it. We actually kind of have fun driving down here.
It's almost better than driving in the States. I think I really do like it. Another thing is like when you're driving, if you're going to turn left, we learned this the hard way.
So I about had a wreck. not only do you turn your turn signal on, which would be a pretty good indicator that you're going to turn, but when you turn on your left turn signal, it signals to the people behind you that it's clear in front of you to pass you, and so they think that it's time to pass.
Yeah, we did not know that.
We didn't know that. So what you do is you turn on your left turn signal, you roll down your window, and you wave your hand out the window, and that lets them know, hey, I'm actually turning. And so we're learning. That was one that we learned like the first week we were down here. I about caused a wreck. I ran a guy right off the side of the road because he thought it was time to pass me.
Yeah.
It made sense to me that I was turning in the driveway that was right there because I was stopped in the middle of the road, but he didn't see it that way, and he ran off the road, and it scared me to death. So.
Yeah. So we know now. We know that rule. So.
Yeah. Just things that you need to learn before you come.
Yeah. And the last one, number 9, life in Mexico can be joyful, rich, and deep.
Yep. The culture is very family and community oriented. There's announcers that they have announcements every morning, usually at night. And if somebody in the community passes away or has a birthday or something, they will announce it. They'll announce a death right when it happens. If it's somebody you drop whatever you're doing and you go to them. You go to the family, you help out, there's people that help with food, and then they set up music and they set up tents for the family to come, have the wake and the funeral and everything. And it's a big to-do.
Yeah.
It's really good having that community-oriented feeling, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So if you are going to come down here with that, you need to have humility and you need to just have respect for the people around here and the culture.
I will tell you, because the first few nights that there's announcements are going off at 6 in the morning, and you're going, why are they screaming through the loudspeakers at 6 in the morning? And then the first time that it happened at 1 o'clock in the morning, because someone had passed away, and so they make the announcement so people know, and it wakes you up, and you're like, why are we doing this? Well, it's the community.
Yeah.
They're very tight.
Yeah.
And so, you learn how good it is, and you got to come with an open mind.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely not the United States of America.
Not at all. You're not going to have the quietness at all, and you learn to adapt, and I love it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was part of a culture shock for us. And
Absolutely.
we had to get used to it and understand it. So, yeah. So anyways, that's 9 things that you need to know before you move to Mexico, and I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And also, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We will be putting more tips and stuff on here, along with our vlogging and showing you things that we're doing around here in Mexico.
Yep, we're about done with Spanish school, and so we will be doing a lot more mission-oriented things down here now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be a lot more fun videos, I think, because the Spanish school time's been a little boring.
Just so anyways, thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the next video. Nos
Hasta
vemos.
luego.